Hey guys, I'm Meteos and I'm the jungler on Cloud9. Today I'm going to show you how to play Nocturne. So Nocturne's a really well-rounded jungler and he's pretty easy to play, so I recommend him for anyone who's trying to learn jungle. The best times to pick him in competitive matches are with or against global ultimates because he has one also. Pros of Nocturne are that he farms really fast, he's a great duelist, once he's 6 his ganks are undetectable, and he scales well throughout the game. His cons are that he doesn't have that much utility, so if you get behind on him, he becomes pretty useless. So this was a game I played a few weeks ago on my Smurf in high Diamond 1 Elo, and I'll show you what I start with Nocturne. For starting items, you always want Machete and 5 health potions. It's pretty standard on all junglers. And in almost all situations, you want to take Q at level 1 on Nocturne because it helps him clear the jungle the fastest. For Nocturne, it's almost always best to start at the buff that's closest to your bottom lane in solo queue so that you can get the best leash possible. And then generally you want to go from that buff to straight to the other buff to get level 3, and then you can either look to farm more or gank. Okay, so here I saw that Irelia was pretty aggressive and overextended with no ward. So I try to bait him in, and I actually wait for him to go for this last hit right here, and then me and Jace jump on him. And we're able to get the kill, barely. When ganking with Nocturne, you want to almost always start your fear after they flash, unless you can get right on top of them beforehand. And if you can get your fear off with them having no flash, you'll almost always kill them. Going into mid game is Nocturne. That's when he has his ultimate, and you can really look to gank any lane because they can't tell when you're coming. So for this gank, I chose to gank bot because Jinx and Thresh both don't have any real escapes. And I had a Blitzcrank bot lane, so it's usually pretty easy to set up the gank. This one wasn't the smoothest gank ever, but we actually did manage to get a couple kills. So at this point in the game, it's pretty even. I'm pretty ahead, my mid laner is really behind, and our bottom lane's a little bit ahead. So at this point I really want to force more plays bot because I just ganked them and I know they still have no summoners. So we're able to gank bot using my ultimate again. And then after that, it's really good to take objectives. Ganking bot's important because it gives you dragon control, which helps your entire team by giving them global gold. So in this specific game, if you look at the score screen, you'll notice that I'm really fed. I have 8 kills and 3 assists, and our Ezreal is also pretty fed. He has 5 kills and 7 assists. And our Ahri's really behind, and their Caston's really ahead. So this is a situation you'll see a lot in solo queue where certain players get really fed and certain players feed really hard. And I built damage just so I could be as effective as possible and trying to carry the team. Generally, it's better to build tank if the rest of your team is doing well and you're not, but if you're really ahead, damage is the best path. Okay, so this is a different game, but I think this one illustrates really well what to do with Nocturne in a team fight. This is another situation where I built damage because I was ahead, and Nocturne's primary goal in team fight is to sit off on the side and try to assassinate the carry. So I'll show how this one went down. So here I told our Kennen to go in when the other team gets on the tower. And so he ults in, and then Jinx flashes, and so I ult him immediately. Their whole team goes on me, so I flash out so I don't die because there's no way I would have killed Jinx there, while my team killed their front line. And then once they get distracted, we come back in and win the fight, despite being pretty behind. Alright, so to recap, when playing Nocturne in the early game, focus on farming and ganking when it's possible. In the mid game, use your ultimate as much as possible, and keep farming because Nocturne's really bad when he gets behind. And then late game and team fights, try to dive their AD carry and tank as much damage as you can and then get out before you die. This is Meteos from Cloud9. Thanks again for watching my Nocturne guide. If you want a more detailed guide, you can check out my Nocturne one at cloud9.gg, sponsored by ASUS.
Here's your chance to game with your favorite player from Cloud9 or Team Solo Mid and win prizes sponsored from ASUS. Go to GameOnIncredible.com and enter today.